All right, this is the Fantasy Sports Boss. Good morning. It's Sunday morning, getting ready to watch Tampa Bay and Seattle. Might jump in to do a impromptu live stream during the game, so make sure you hit the subscribe, hit the notification button. I wanted to start sprinkling in some NFL draft prospects discussion because this channel is not just going to be about fantasy football, although it has been 99.9% so far to this point in 13 weeks. But once the offseason arrives, it's going to be certainly the NFL draft is going to be a major component of it. I do an NFL draft guide that I put out in book form every late January or February. I've already started working on it as well, and it definitely helps in fantasy football terms as well, because like somebody like Kyren Williams or even Dameon Pierce, who a little bit off the radar, and now especially in Pierce's case and hopefully Kyren Williams today, the fantasy value can come from some unlikely sources or non-obvious sources. And I wanted to talk, on that note, I wanted to talk about UCLA's Zach Charbonnet, who the senior, 6'1", 220 pounds, and you know, in terms of fantasy football, he has a very fantasy football friendly game. You know, he's built well for the position, and so far this season, he's just under 1,000 rushing yards for UCLA, and he has 20 receptions. So, you know, just the fact that he's a dual threat weapon, not only as a runner but as a receiver, that alone has some fantasy intrigue. Now, in terms of where I think he can go in the draft, now it's extremely early, but I currently have him down as a borderline, you know, round 3, round 4 guy, just because he doesn't have blazing speed. You know, he's not that he's a plotter by any means. He is shifty. He runs powerfully. But he's not a burner, so I think his 40 time will be a big determination in terms of you know, the draft combine, where he could ultimately end up. But you talk about a guy that, you know, could end up in that 3rd round tier, like an Alvin Kamara, excellent receiver, very adept as a runner. That could be, you know, the Zach Charbonnet from UCLA, who had a solid game yesterday against Arizona, has played well all season. He's averaging over 7 yards a carry, so he's getting it done on the ground. So I think he's somebody that certainly will need to be looked at from a fantasy football, those in dynasty leagues especially, going forward when the draft rolls around, and just draft nits in general, and anybody that's interested in the draft. I think he's somebody that we need to watch because of his varied skill set. All right, again, hit that subscribe, hit that notification button. Look for the notification for a live look-in for the Seattle Tampa Bay game.